Hello, everybody. On this episode of Don't Blame Me, we have Kingsley. We discuss a guy who is hooking up with his friend who happens to have a girlfriend. We also have a callback about porn, which I'm sure you guys will love to hear, and a girlfriend whose husband's dick ripped. And we talk about the penis in the ripping. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Don't Blame Me. This is my podcast. Hi, I'm Meghan, and we are here today with very special guest, Kingsley.
Hi.
Oh my God, I'm so happy you're here.
I'm happy that you
look
invited me here.
Today.
Thank you. I was just like podcast vibes. I was gonna look like super cute, and I was like, no,
you're
sitting talking into a mic, like just chill. Yeah, I love it. I love it.
I'm sweating a
little bit. And I love
bit.
the title of your show.
Oh, thank you.
It's really good.
It's kind of like having like a legal disclaimer built in.
Mm-hmm.
So like if I fuck up somebody's life, like you've been reminded, you can't like go to your lawyer and be like, so I called this podcast called Don't Blame Me. They go, nah, my issue's right there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Covered all your bases.
Exactly. That's the plan. So yeah, this is an advice podcast if you guys are listening for the first time. We're also recording this for YouTube. So hello, internet. And if you're watching on YouTube, you might notice that I look a little out of it. I got a concussion this weekend. It's a fun story. We won't talk about it. But yeah, if you want to.
You tweeted about it.
I did tweet about it. And also, did you see, I like definitely, like it was one words are really hard, but I kept tweeting things and then be like, no, that's not what I meant to say. And I was like, holy shit, like this is definitely affecting me more.
I'm gonna have to check out the timeline.
I saw your tweet that said you were like, blueberries are overrated. And I was like, for me, blueberries are underrated. But then I saw you tweet later that said blueberries are underrated. That's what I meant.
I can't.
Oh my God. There's like some of the things I like quote tweeted somebody saying something. I was like, this is great. But I was like, that is so great. This is. And I'm like, oh dear God. I had Instagram captions where like did the same line almost twice. I've been affected. Someone asked me how bad it was. And I was like, well, I don't know all the states, but I like didn't know before. So that's okay.
I can't believe you guys are debating blueberries when Beyonce dropped an album.
That is true. That is true. I don't know the title though.
Oh, God.
You just need an email address. You don't actually need
Oh, really? That's all you need?
Yeah. Yes, I luckily
you can get that 30-day trial.
Yeah, constantly.
Oh, okay. Because
I did that for Rihanna. I did it for Lemonade. I did it several times.
You just gotta make it your email address.
I was on set when Lemonade came out, and there was like the couple crew guys had downloaded it, and then we just had their laptop, and so I assumed that it was like an exclusive thing, like Rhea. I would have to join.
Yeah.
Oh God, Rhea.
Yeah, I got that 30 days, and by the time 30 days are up, it'll be on Apple Music. So
yeah, it's up there now.
It is.
It's shockingly they did it.
I don't even have Apple Music.
Oh.
What do you listen?
I'm still on like student Spotify.
It's on there too.
Student Spotify.
Student Spotify.
I mean,
this college
really
dropout
student
still
for
got student. Yeah, like 2 years. I'm for 2 years. I don't know how I'm still paying the student thing, so I don't want to fuck it up. Same with Amazon Prime.
Oh yeah, me too. Mine's running out this year though.
Oh no.
I know.
That's so disappointing.
They sent me an email. I was mad.
You're like, I'm still a student, bitch.
Yeah, getting the masters. Yeah. They don't know when you stop.
No,
How offensive.
Aren't I always learning? I'm constantly bettering myself.
Yes.
I'm a student of the world.
Yes.
My friend, we went to Madewell, and she always shows her student ID, and her sister's mortified because her sister fucking worked there for years, so everybody knows that like she's not a student. And so then our other friend had overheard this, and every time we go into a store now, she goes, "You're not a student," in the front of everyone. So she never allowed to use her student ID. Damn. I was like, "You're a shitty friend."
Very shitty.
Shout out to
That's
Sophie
so rude.
if she's listening. Fuck you, Sophie. We're not allowed to use our student IDs. Not a Top Shop, nowhere. Okay, well, this is an advice podcast for anybody who's first time listening. And the phone number, let's see if this concussion can still remember the fucking phone number. 310-694-0976.
Woo.
Wow.
You did it.
That hurt to think about.
She lives.
She does. She's going to survive. I'm going to make it. And then international listeners, if you guys want to call in or not technically call in, you record a voice memo, email it to meghanpodcast@gmail.com, and we can give you guys some advice. So that's what's going to happen today.
Come through.
Giving a fuck ton of advice. I feel like you'll be good at this.
Yeah, I love like listening to people's problems
that aren't your own.
and telling them yes,
Same.
I love it.
One of my favorite things ever, which is why I started the podcast, is giving people advice and then not having to like follow up on it.
Mm-hmm.
So like if it's my real life friends, I can give them advice, but I can't be that harsh because like come like a week and a half, I'm gonna find out what actually happened.
Exactly.
With this one, I can just be like, here you go.
Put it into the universe.
Then, like,
who knows if it worked or not?
Whatever you do with it, you'll do with it. So.
Yes.
Should we hop in? Oh, and Mel's here. Sorry, I forgot to introduce Mel.
That was such an afterthought. Oh, yeah.
We need a camera for you. Did you see everyone tweeting and commenting that they want a Mel cam?
I did.
I think we should do it. Even if we just set up an iPhone, just like right there for you. Okay. Well, yeah. Should we begin?
I'm ready to begin.
Me too. I'm sweating a little bit though.
Hello, Meghan. I'm from Norway, and I just wanted to call in for some advice. So the thing is, I am almost 20 years old, and I've never had a first kiss. I never had a boyfriend, and I'm like, I kind of need advice to like know what to do, you know? So the reason why I haven't had my first kiss is because I'm like saving it for the right person, and I feel like that's a smart thing to do, like to wait for the right one. But at the same time, I'm like 20 soon, and I'm getting a little bit impatient. Like, what if the right one doesn't come along in like 10 years? I don't want to be like 30 and never had a kiss. So what do you suggest? Should I just go for it? Like, don't care about who it is with? Like, it's not that big of a deal. It's just a kiss. Or do you think I should like stay true to my wish to be like not pure, but like to wait for the right one? And also, if I were to just go for it, where do I find guys? Like, I tried dating apps, and that is not for me, like not at all. And to my school, there aren't very many boys. So, like, I don't know. I don't really like to go to parties. So, do you like have any tips on how to find guys to like potentially date and like, yeah, stuff like that? I'm just confused. I'm 20 and I'm like, I need to start living my life. So if you have any tips or advice, please give them to me. Thank you.
I mean, I'm all for people saving themselves in whatever way that may be. Not for me personally, not my jam. I would just say, I think my automatic thing is like when you build something up to be really great, there's no way it's ever going to meet your expectations. And then that I think applies to like everything, like a job, an event, think of New Year's and Halloween. It's never as fun as you think it's going to be. And 100% that's how I feel about like first kisses. My first kiss that was like, I'm going to say consensual because I definitely pinned down this kid named Kyle Wickersham when I was a kid and like sucked his face because I was—
How old were you?
I was like 5.
Okay.
I was I was also tall and like large I was like a larger child and he was very small. So I just like had a lot on him, which I still feel bad about to this day. I'm like, whew. But I was like 15, my 16th birthday when I had my first kiss. And I would say I had pretty much like a perfect first kiss when it comes down to it. Like I just went to the Jonas Brothers concert. Like I was a front row. Like they sang to me. They sang Happy Birthday in the meet and greet. God. I literally passed out. And it was the greatest day of my entire life. I have pictures and I just like, you can see that I'm just like crying out of happiness. And so sadly, my first kiss wasn't with Nick Jonas, which I really wish it was. But this guy that I was dating, he like wanted to kiss me on my birthday. And so he like drove to my house and like gave me my first kiss like on my birthday. And it was great for like the next 3 weeks, but then he ghosted me and we never talked again. So ultimately I think like a first kiss, like the instance in which it can happen could totally be perfect, but the aftermath is so rarely perfect. And unless you want to like unless you want this to be like a married at first sight kind of thing where like your first kiss, your first everything with the same guy, it might be great for a great memory for a while, but then it's like going to suck. And then you'll like get over it. And like now I can look back and be like, he was a total mega babe.
Yeah. What's the age of consent in Norway? What is?
I feel like
I mean, she's 20, yeah, so she's older.
I feel like my first kiss was in Head Start. So I was like, what, 5 or something? So same age. Yeah. But it was consensual with this girl named Sierra behind a tree.
Oh, so cute.
We all know how I turned out. So Sierra, who knows where her life is or, you know, what she's doing. Yeah. But I feel like it sounds like you feel a lot of pressure around being 20. Mm-hmm. And I just feel like everyone has such different ages and times where they feel comfortable doing something.
Yeah. I have friends who didn't have their first kiss until their 20s. And I have some friends who are still virgins, friends who are waiting to have sex because they're waiting for the right guy or they're waiting until marriage. Like I have friends in all of those different places. I think like most of the pressure you put on yourself. Mm-hmm. And I think it's totally fine to get impatient. Like I would be fucking impatient too. Like I think it's a very natural feeling. Like you got hormones, you got needs. So I think if you want to, I think the whole thing is you have to choose either, do you want to have your first kiss and kind of just say like whatever happens, happens? Or do you want to still hold out for it? Because I don't think you can put the pressure to find that kind of right guy in like a time crunch. And I also think that like, I don't know, I'm much more in the mindset of like, first of anything, it's so much more about you being in the right mindset and ready versus like the person that you're with. Like that's not going to make you feel more ready. I think you're going to feel more ready when you are. But I mean, how would you go about finding a boy to kiss?
I mean, well, she said she doesn't like go to parties and there's not many guys at her school. I feel like even at parties, like you're not going to necessarily kiss someone just because you're at a party. You just have to live your life.
Yeah.
If a guy comes along, he comes along. If you end up being a raging lesbian and kissing a girl, like you just don't know what's going to happen.
Go for it. And I think if you're trying to meet a guy to date, I think the best place to do that is to go to places where you like do interests that you like. If you like bookstores, go to bookstores. If my friend and I always used to say, granted she met her boyfriend at a bar, we always used to say that if you go to a bar to meet a guy and that's really not your vibe, you're gonna probably meet a guy who that's really his vibe. That's where what he's really into, and like that's where he likes to hang out.
Yes,
and you're kind of giving off that thing of being like, oh, I like to go out and go to bars. Like, I just came here to meet boys.
Yeah.
Which I'm not a bar or a party person at all. Granted, I met my boyfriend like at work, but I think you have to like you'll be more likely to meet somebody that you have common interests with and that you're going to actually really be into and is really going to be into you if you're staying true to yourself and like hanging out at places that you kind of like that. Or also ask your friends if they've got like people to set you up with. And
I completely relate to the not using dating apps thing. Yeah. It just seems so like forced sometimes. And I don't like the concept of talking to someone for a really long time and then meeting them.
No.
Because it's like text and vibing in real life is not the same.
No, it's not. I would rather, I loved the idea of dating apps, but just not using them for dating, just using them to make me feel good about myself. Because I'm great over text message and then I don't want to meet anyone in person. And I'm like, I never want to meet you. Like, I just like wanted you to tell me I was like funny and cute and pretty. And like, now I'm never going to talk to you again. Which like, that was what I did, which is terrible. But I mean, I'm with that. The dating app thing, I think can be, because anyone can kind of like, we're in the era of catfish. Like you can always like pretend to be a different person.
It's so calculating. You're like choosing your best pictures and just, it's such I can't.
No, I've made my friend change her last picture because when I did have dating apps, my final picture, I will say I crushed it. Like I never met anybody in real life, but like my ratio of like matching and like being told I was funny was like pretty fucking high, which is all I was there for. But my last picture was me after I'd gotten my nose done. So like my nose is bloody and bruised and I have 2 black eyes. And so like I really like made fun of myself in my profile and so many people were like, wait, this is so funny. You're not taking yourself too seriously. So I made my friend change her last picture because it was her like at a sorority formal, like hand on her hip. And I made her change it to a picture of her like drunk eating chicken wings. And she matched with so many more people. And I was like, see, if you're like your real, authentic, true self. But I think it's hard because no one really is.
True.
Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah.
Just relax, girl.
Yeah.
And you've got to put yourself out there. You're not going to get your kiss if you're not going anywhere.
True.
No, dicks don't just fall in your lap. As much as we all wish, it doesn't always happen like that. You have to put the effort forward. And coming from somebody who's also lazy with dating, like that was like the biggest struggle with me. I'm like, well, I don't want to like, that's so much effort. Like you actually have to put in the effort. Otherwise, you won't meet people.
Yeah. And I feel like, well, I don't know, like do girls feel more pressure for guys to make the move? Or
you're asking someone who pinned down a guy when she was
very
5.
good point.
It's really true.
Good point.
I mean, I'm pretty forward, but when it comes to like the first, I'm definitely forward. But like if I like somebody, I will tell them. But if it comes to that's why I usually have feelings like for friends and develop crushes because I'm not one to go up to a guy for the first time who I don't know who I think is cute. Like I will make the first move if I'm friends with somebody or I know them and like I will definitely plant that seed. But if I don't know somebody and I just see a cute guy, like there's no way. Like my friends and I used to like literally just like get dressed up and like go hang out and be like, I hope someone talks to us. I'm like, that's so fucking weird. Like you get like all cute and hope and like then the ball's out in your court. You're not doing anything. And I'll be honest, that did not work for any of my friends. No one ever came up and was like, I want to talk to these girls who are sitting by themselves just like looking at the room and being like, I hope somebody talks to us.
Yeah.
Like that's not approachable. Ow. I hit my face on this.
You okay? Concussion number 2.
I mean, she does that all the time.
Concussion of the mouth. I do. And sometimes I'll get too close and I lick it and I'm like, ew.
Wow.
I know. So hopefully you don't have a mic that I've previously licked. Potentially.
I don't mind.
I know. Catch the cooties. Okay. Did we help? I hope so. Yeah. I hope so. And maybe look on the YouTube comments. And if you guys also are like in your 20s.
I feel back. She sounded stressed.
Yeah. Help her out. Help
Like,
her out, guys.
stressed.
If anyone else is in that same position. Okay. On to the next one.
I am 25 years old. I'm about to be 26. I am a little bit intoxicated right now, but I'm just leaving you a message just saying that I just hooked up with my friend who happens to be in a relationship. And I've hooked up with him like a few times, like maybe like 2 to like 17 times. And he happens to have a girlfriend, and I just want to, like, I feel like we have a connection, but we probably don't. I honestly don't even know, but, like, we are good friends, and then his girlfriend caught us together. I don't even know, but, like, have a good time. Bye.
He's so relaxed.
No, he's so drunk.
Wait, so they got caught, but he doesn't know. What do you mean?
He doesn't know what to do.
Did they just get caught?
After the 17th time.
It seems like he was calling like straight from
it. I love when you get a good car phone call. I love when we're people's first call. Like we're the first responders. Wow. Okay.
Was that it?
That's it. It's a lot to unpack. Mm-hmm. I'm going to say something that's whatever. This is going to be like typical Meghan controversial thing. I have guy friends who've hooked up with guys who are in relationships with women. And that, I think it's so much more common than most people know, is that there's a lot of, I think we're in this generation, like right now, this generation is like some people can be very supported in coming out. But I think in a lot of older generations, like depending on where you grew up and stuff like that, like it was just a lot less progressive. So this happens a lot more than I think people know. Mm-hmm. And my controversial thought process is like other people figuring out their sexuality, like as much as like that sucks for the girlfriend, I think like other people figuring out their sexuality, I think like she needs to take a back seat and like
No,
you hate that?
I hate that because I feel like it's one thing to explore your sex. Like if he hooked up with his friend before he got in a relationship, that's fine. Yeah. But you're stringing this girl along. Like once they have you as a friend know that this person is in a relationship, you need to stop. That's just dangerous. Yeah. It's messy. That's true. It's not safe. It's tacky and every other adjective that that's so messy.
I wonder, do you think we don't know if he's out as anything. Like his girlfriend, was this like a total shock to his girlfriend?
Right. It would seem like it.
Unless he's out like as bi and he's just been hooking up with the other guy.
Because I think usually, I guess I forget that he said that the girlfriend caught them. Usually my thing is, I'm like, if you're hooking up with somebody who's in a relationship, they might be in an open relationship. They might like be in anything like that. But I mean, if she walked in, fuck, I want to know.
His drunk ass couldn't even give us
fucking details. God.
That's sad though, because there is so much more to it. Like, is this friend in the closet and not really into this girl, or is he just like a super horny person that can't cut off his friend? Like, is the friend were they drunk? Like he was drunk. Is it just a drunk thing that happens? Like it's just
like, have you guys talked about it? Like, have you and this guy like, were you hookup buddies before he had a girlfriend and this kind of like stayed, and then, or how good of friends are you if you didn't know he had a girlfriend?
No, I think he knew.
He knew
from the beginning.
Yeah, I think so too. Like they're friends, and I think he definitely knew because he was like 2 to 17
2 to 17 times, which also means like 25 times. Yeah. Like, wait, and also like, do you think they hooked up before he was dating this girl? Like, has this been like...
probably. Yeah. And that's what I don't mind. It's just like, I feel like stuff like that is why certain people enforce like this whole mess, like why certain people will be suspect if their boyfriend is close with a gay guy.
Okay.
Like this is the type of stuff that validates that, in my opinion. And
do people really get upset about that?
Yeah.
What?
Not always for reasonings like this, but when something like this is happening, it's just like,
wow.
Because it's the same as just a girl being paranoid about another girl, like based on their experiences. If you have past experiences where people are betraying your trust with something that seems platonic, it's not good.
No, so not good. I mean, what's our advice for him? Sober up, sweetie. First one.
They should have a conversation.
Yeah. Because I think there can be some of that like romanticism to it. Like, I mean, who doesn't love like the illicit kind of love story? It can be hot, but also if this guy's your friend and you care about him, like you should also care about like his relationship. And if this is going to affect like his, not maybe he doesn't live with a girlfriend, but like that kind of side of his life. Like you don't want your friends to obviously suffer and go through shitty things like that. And then also like, what if one of you catches feelings and then you're not in a place where you can kind of pursue that? And then if it's just sex too, like you guys are not the only two people in the world who want to have sex with each other.
And
like,
were they being safe? Like, were they using, oh my God.
Oh, are you picturing like one of them giving someone else, something else, and then it all comes out?
I'm picturing the worst of the whole situation.
I just want to know how the girl like caught them.
Right?
Like text message or like walk in.
When I was in college, my college boyfriend was with a gay guy, like having relationships with them. And I caught it through a Facebook message.
Shut
Yep.
up. This is why we need a fucking Mel cam. So you guys could see Mel's like stoic face.
Yeah. And I never told him that I knew.
And you just
like
broke
we
up with
broke
him?
up. Yeah. And we're still friends. He's out now, but we're still friends. But I never told him that I
Dude,
know.
Facebook habits. My friend caught his boyfriend cheating on him through Facebook messages and then found like phone numbers in his dirty fucking jeans.
And after that, I
God.
found
Fuck that
pictures of them. Like they had gone out to like LA and were like all over each other. Yeah. I did like some sleuthing after I saw the messages.
Yeah. Oh, fuck yeah. Like deep dive sleuth.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Well, good for you for not telling him.
Yeah.
Because that's like a struggle. Because did you go to school in Arkansas?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. We were friends all through college. Like we're still great friends right now.
Are you from Arkansas?
Mm-hmm.
Same.
You're from Arkansas?
What part?
I just went to Arkansas.
I was born in Pine Bluff.
Okay.
My mom went to
Fayetteville.
UAPB. Nice.
I went to Bentonville.
Yeah.
Where?
Bentonville?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Small world.
Pretty cool. We love shout out to everyone from Arkansas.
Hey.
Yeah. So I think that, the advice is to have a conversation with him. And then also like put yourself in his shoes in that same way. That I think like as much as like I also probably cut my friends a little too much slack when it comes to like their like sexcapades because like I know them. But if you're friends with this guy and you know this girl too, you just wouldn't want to be in that situation. And also I guess it's also his journey too. If he needs to figure out what he wants. Because clearly this is a guy who's either confused or knows exactly what he wants. And if he knows exactly what he wants, he needs to be with somebody who's like knows that and is okay with that. Because I don't really think it's fair. I'm like completely going back on what I said before. Whatever. I don't think it's fair as a girl when I've been friends with people who've like done shady things or whatever, and they've like kept it from their significant other. And I'm like, I understand it's fine. Like keeping things, like if you need to like, but if you're going to keep something from somebody and that person, if they knew that they might not want to be with you, then you have to end it with that person because it's not fair to make the decision for both of you when you don't know all the information. Like you need to let other people make those decisions.
Be open, communicate.
Yeah. Even though that'd be fucking awkward. And maybe,
Well, now it's going to be even more awkward.
So fucking awkward. Have a conversation with just him, not his girlfriend.
Yes, yeah, just him. You guys need to figure out what you each want.
Maybe go to a coffee shop, like sober, and sit like kind of far away from each other.
We need a follow up. He needs to call back.
Yes.
This is one that we need to follow up on.
That could go so many ways.
Yeah. How old was he, did he say?
25.
25?
Hold on. Yeah, 25.
Okay.
Because now the girlfriend might like not let the boyfriend see the friend again. It's oh my God.
Like, did they break
not gonna
up or
fix
was
the
she like
situation,
good
too.
with it?
Well, let us know what happens.
I do love that he called you like in the
It does really make me
heat of
feel
that.
good. Like this feels like one of my friends would have done this, where it's like, hey, I fucked up. Which I've gotten that phone call, like that drunk phone call, like I did something bad. And I love that. And I like that we get this from people I've never met before. Oh, on to the next call.
I'm a junior right now in high school, and I'm not really looking for like a boyfriend. Like I know I have some friends that have boyfriends, and I'm just not kind of really wanting one of those relationships. I'm focusing on like school and my extracurriculars and stuff. And I also want to move out of state for university, so I don't really want to like get into something too serious. But I do I want a friend with benefits, if that makes like any sense. But I just don't want to be able to be a commitment to it, you know? And in high school, it's kind of hard to do that. Like, I don't want to be considered like a slut or something. And like, I just don't know how to initiate it with someone either, because I'm like, I have friends, but as I said, I'm kind of like, I work with my I try to be good at like work hard in school with my grades and stuff. I don't go to many parties and things. So I don't really have an opportunity to really just go up and ask someone. I mean, I know a few guys, but not like friends enough to like, not like those kind of friends, like just in class or things. So what should I do? And how should I initiate it? Thank you so much. Bye.
This girl needed me in high school because I'm the exact opposite. I was not focusing on my grades or extracurriculars. I was focusing on guys. I think first a misconception about friends with benefits. You don't have to be that good of fucking friends.
True.
Like you really don't. Like you don't have to. It doesn't have to be like. I honestly think it's better too when it's not like your closest guy friend who you also fuck or your closest girlfriend. I think it's a little bit better when it's somebody who you're friendly with or you have classes with and is an acquaintance. First of all, this is like not everybody, but like a lot of people's dream. So I wouldn't say don't like worry about bringing it up. I also don't think you need to have like a conversation and be like, hi, my name's we have to bleep that. Sorry. Hi, my name's Betty Sue. I was just wondering if like after school you like want to put it in me. Like you don't have to say it like that. I think if you hook up with somebody at like, I keep like just like associating parties with this, but if you like flirt with somebody, you guys end up like hooking up or whatever, then you don't have to follow it up with, all you do is just don't have the what are we conversation. That's all you have to do, right? That's
so interesting. I don't even know anything about this.
Have you ever had a friend with benefits?
Not in high school. I lost my virginity when I was 20.
Okay.
And I just wasn't even thinking about it because I was so gay and like in the closet and not having sexual like anything in high school. So I don't even know how did you start in school?
So I started my friends with benefits situation was with, I'm like, I wonder if anyone from high school is going to hear this because I denied it left and right that him and I ever hooked up. Mm-hmm. He was my prom date. So I got my
boyfriend. Talked a lot about this guy.
I have. My high school boyfriend and I, we were dating for he was like my best friend. We dated for like a majority of high school. Mm-hmm. We broke up like the week before prom and it was like very traumatic. He asked another girl to prom in front of me. Everyone thought it was for me, but it was like for this other girl. Wow. It was like hella dramatic. And there was this guy who I had known like kind of like my whole life, but we weren't like really close friends. Mm-hmm. He was someone that my boyfriend or my ex at that time was like always kind of very jealous of because he was just like didn't really pick up on social cues and like didn't really care that I had a boyfriend, and he'd walk into class like, hey Megan, you look really hot today, and my boyfriend would be like, you can't fucking say it. And so he told my friend, he's like, oh, I kind of want to ask Megan to prom. And I was like, fuck yes, not only are you hella hot, but like you're also going to like make my ex really jealous. And so we ended up going, like he asked me to prom and we like hung out and like ended up just like kind of starting that like flirty thing. It was just we both knew we were into each other in like a physical way. And then we ended up like hooking up for a while. And then we ended up like kind of dating for a minute and then it didn't really work out.
So it was just very casual, natural. Yeah. Like we went.
It was more, the thing with friends with benefits is it becomes like a physical thing first. Like there isn't like a slow, at least with our situation, it wasn't like a slow build up. Like we figured out we were both into each other. We were both single. We had never both been single at the same time. We like made out. And then like the next week we like hooked up and then like kind of just kept doing that. And then and also for people calling you a slut, like news around high school travels fast. Won't lie about that. So I had like in my yearbook class, I remember some girl slides down and sits next to me. She goes, hey, like, just like want to ask you, like, rumor has it like you and so hooked up. Like, is that true? And I just like used my best like thespian, like Shakespeare summer camp skills. And I was like, no, not at all. And then everyone was like, okay, sure. And we like denied it. Then we like got drunk and hooked up at a party and everybody saw. And they were like, oh, okay, they are. But I think like there's a little bit of sexual confidence that I think has to come from that because it is, I don't think you don't have to talk about being friends with benefits. It just kind of is a thing that happens, but it happens based on like a physical kind of thing. It's
especially
not really
in college, it just happens.
Yeah.
Like,
you know
everywhere.
What I mean? Like you get a little too drunk one night, like you like mentioned to your friend that you think that they're cute and then it like just kind of goes there. Yeah. I think it just requires just like actual, like, I don't know, getting over that first hump. You know?
Getting under or on top of that first hump.
That's what it takes. So I don't really know. I don't know if you think somebody's like, if you think, I was a big fan of the game of telephone in high school where it's like, oh my God, so-and-so, did you hear my friend thinks you're cute? And like, if you can kind of just
put it in
those
there.
seeds, I would do that. Or if there's like a dance coming up, ask that person to a dance.
Yeah, it's summertime.
I don't know, what class were you? Like, when did you graduate?
2011.
Okay, I was 09. I feel like now kids are so into
Horny.
like on the phones and like they see stuff happening and they feel like they have to do it more than letting it actually happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think a lot of the things you're talking about is like dying out as far as like word of mouth and like spreading stuff around.
So you mean just like his Insta?
Yeah, like they're like, oh, I see some of the dumbest stuff. Like my friends' sisters have like panic attacks. Like, oh, this guy from the football team, he hasn't opened my Snap yet. Like, he hasn't opened my Snap. He hasn't liked my pictures. Like, I liked all his pictures. He didn't follow me back. I'm just like,
I would have.
What are y'all talking about? I would have hated it.
I would have hated it so much.
It's so bad.
I would have lost my damn mind. Oh yeah, it is summer though. But I mean, fuck, you're right. Like, there's
Also, if you're just like horny,
match.
Are you masturbating?
Oh, that is a good thing too. I hope so.
Yeah.
17, right? 17? Yeah. I hope you're doing that. Yeah. Get there. She's not a virgin, right?
She didn't say, but I'm guessing she's not.
I'm guessing she's not. You don't just jump to wanting friends with benefits, which I would be impressed by. Yeah. I think also if you like masturbate, decide if you still like need a guy in the picture. And then, oh, wait, what's the age of consent here? Are we allowed to tell her to fuck people? So once you turn 18 in a couple weeks, happy early birthday. I think then if you really do want to just like hang out with somebody, I think you can like hit up a guy that you think is cute and just, or if your friends have a party or something, invite somebody along to something in a not pressure situation. Mm-hmm. Like I think ours was prom, which prom at our school, you just had dates. You weren't necessarily dating those people. But I think if it's like a low pressure thing to show that you're interested.
Yeah. And be a little aggressive. Like she was saying, like tell the guy you think he's cute.
Yeah.
Tell him he looks good that day. Like just plant your seeds.
And high school boys are so fucking horny. Like no one is going to be like, sorry, I really like don't want to have sex with you with no strings attached.
Yeah. Right. Like, she's over the age of consent for where she is based on your area code. I won't say where you are, but
no fucking sleuth. So yeah. So then I would say that. I think it's exactly that. You have to be a little aggressive to get what you want. Consensually aggressive, and then just be confident in knowing that that's something a lot of people are looking for, especially at that time. I think college and high school, especially like end of college, end of high school, nobody's really looking for anything with strings.
No,
like you just like you want to get yours, and then you like want to go to college, you want to study, you want to get yours, and then you continue on. So I say go for it. I had a really great time with Friends with Benefits because neither of us really caught feelings. So that was good, right?
Yeah.
And if it's the key though, it has to be good sex. If it's not good sex, then it's just
move on.
You can't like find somebody else.
You visited, you can go to another destination.
Yeah, please. Just like, thank you. You've arrived at your destination. Please keep going. Add another stop. New route. Like, okay, Waze. Yeah, with that. But congratulations. Go you.
Yeah, be safe.
Be safe.
Don't get,
wrap it up. Don't get pregnant. Don't get of the other
be responsible.
STDs. It's called pregnancy and STD. Good God. The other STDs. Gonorrhea. Those ones. Okay, guys, we're going to go on a quick break and we will be back. This episode of Don't Blame Me is brought to you by Don't Blame Me, Inception. I don't think I ever saw that movie. But no, guys, today we are giving iTunes some love. We're going to be reading some of your great comments and reviews from the podcast app. Really been loving reading them. Like I always say, it's just so nice. And so if you guys want to be featured in this, it would really make my day. And then you get to hear your lovely comment read out loud, which keyword lovely. If you don't leave a lovely one, not going to read it out loud. So this one, oh, sorry, I started choking on pistachio. Don't worry, everybody, I'm fine. Okay. This one I really like because it's pretty true. The title is You Made Me Start Listening to Podcasts. I legitimately relate to so many of the things that are in your podcasts. I never listened to podcasts before because I always assumed they were for old people or they were just boring. But you've definitely changed my mind about that. Anyway, please continue with this. I love that because I do think there is a misconception that podcasts are for like old boring people, which I would definitely identify as like an old boring person. And I love old boring people podcasts. But guys, podcasts are for young hip people too. This one says, amazing. I absolutely adore this podcast. Don't Blame Me is relatable and hilarious at the same time. I love to listen to the podcast at the pool, in the car, in my room. Don't Blame Me is just an amazing podcast that somehow feels professional and laid back all at once. Love it. I love that they called us professional and laid back. I think that's the definition of recording, with all of like Melissa's wonderful recording stuff and then me wearing sweatpants. That's like the professional and then laid back. So thank you guys so much for leaving those reviews. It really does make my day. And I would love if you haven't left a review yet. Don't be a silent fan. Be a loud fan. Let 2018 be the year of you being like, you know what? I really love this podcast and I'm going to be a really great person, pay it forward, and I'm going to leave a wonderful review. It really does make my day, and I like reading it, and I love hearing what you guys have to say. And I also really like, we've seen a couple of comments of people saying who they would like as guests too. So I really enjoy that. Or telling us who your favorite episode was with, what your favorite topics are. I don't know. It's nice to hear from you guys. We feel all inclusive. So thanks guys for doing that. Thanks for indulging me like reading compliments about myself during this time. So let's get back to the podcast. Okay, guys, we are back from our break, woo woo, and we're on to more calls.
My name is Ashley, and I'm 20 years old. So I have this friend that I've been friends with for a really long time, probably since elementary school. And I think she is now identifying as a boy, and I'm not quite sure though. I'm still calling her she because, like I said, I'm not sure. I know people on this podcast before have called in saying, I think my friend's gay, but he's not telling me and stuff. And I don't know if I should take this the same way, because I want my friend to know that I'll accept them however they identify as, and I want to let them know that I'll still be their friend. But I don't know. I'm not sure how to go about it. She changed her name on Instagram to the guy's name, and the same on her Snapchat. And she cut all her hair off really short. So I don't know. I just don't know how to go about all of this. And if she is identifying as a boy now, then I guess how do I cope with it? Not really cope, because like I said, I don't care either way. I still just want to be her friend, but I don't know. It's just such a touchy subject, and I just don't know how to go about it.
My instinct is what I would genuinely, the first thing I would do was I would just use them, they pronouns when talking about your friend when they're not there, and then just not use specific pronouns to their face. Because this was definitely something I would struggle with, in the sense of you want to be super supportive for your friend, but you also don't. Like I grew up with a couple like kids who didn't fully go through like transitions in high school, but definitely now what they identify as is gender fluid. But like that was in high school. Like there were some days, there was one kid who dressed more female and other days dressed more male. And we just all used them, they pronouns, because different days they desire different pronouns. And until they told us, we just would go for them, they. That's kind of where my mind would go. But I think the changing of the names on social media, I think it can go either way. It can be someone who wants to be considered more like androgynous, because I think there's a lot of like unisex kind of names right now. But I think it also could be a sign that they would prefer him, he pronouns, and like without asking for it. But that's something like I don't know. Like I don't know how you bring that up, because it's not really your journey either. But like, I get the struggle of like, how do you be supportive without putting a label on somebody else when they haven't necessarily labeled themselves or like told you that stuff?
Yeah, it's hard. I feel like everyone that I've known this transitioned has vocalized it.
Yeah, been public.
Yeah. So like you said, it's her own journey.
Yeah.
I feel like as a friend for so long that would be difficult. And even I, like hearing it, and I was trying to put myself in her shoes, like I would be bothered if they made changes on social media without
you feel a little offended.
Yeah, because like what's happening? And that is kind of sticky.
Yeah.
And it's
well, I think you could phrase it as, I want, like, as your friend, I want to be able to like be your number one ally and your number one fan. And if you don't want to talk about any of this, I'm totally there for you. But I want to know what's the best, how I can best support you. And as somebody who, like, obviously I can't speak for you, but as somebody who's close to you, I want to make sure that like I have the right narrative, and I don't want to put you into any box if that's not what you want to be. And if you're still deciding and going through that, like gender is just a construct, and gender is a completely fluid thing. And whenever you decide or not decide to identify as, or decide to not label yourself at all, I just want to make sure that I'm on the same page as you and like doing everything like that. So I think if you want to have that conversation, you can, because I think if you come at it from a place of being like, I just want to know how I best can support you and how I best can be there for you. But I also think, I don't know, I think the changing of the names, especially how they were young, right? High school?
Yeah, they're 20.
20.
Yeah.
I think like it's like a your friend just might not know too. And that's like the person I'm talking about who now identifies as gender fluid, that this person was really doing that kind of changing how they were dressing and how they were talking and the names they were like preferred to be called by day to day. And that was when we were like 16, 17, and we're like 25 now. And this has been like kind of a newer thing, but everybody else I know has been pretty public about, hey, everybody, this is one mass Instagram post or one massive Facebook post. This is what I'm identifying as, and this is what I prefer to be called. So maybe that just hasn't happened yet, and it's going to happen. So I think if you want to hold out a little longer and wait to see if that happens, I think the safest thing is to, again, go with them, they, when talking about your friend to other people. And then just, I don't really find myself using pronouns to someone's face, really.
Yeah. So
I think you could kind of just like steer clear of that and then wait it out a little bit longer. But then if you feel, maybe if you feel like you want to say something, I think if you come at it from, you don't have to have an answer to this question. And like, this is also just like me just wanting to know how best can I be your ally? Because you also don't, like the same thing you're saying, like you don't want to misgender somebody, especially somebody you're super close with. You don't want to, because that can be like an accidental feeling of not feeling like supported. But I also wonder if they go to the same college. Or
on the like another, not to like minimize the situation, but I've had friends who just changed their personality. And even listening, like we have the chopped hair and the more neutral name. That could, I mean, it could be a step in that direction,
absolutely nothing.
She could just be like, I'm a new person. Like, I don't like my name. I didn't like my hair.
Yeah.
I feel more comfortable in this look. And that's just that.
No, completely. Like it's the idea of, I read this article about how like babies, how like it's parents are so much gendering their kids, and how kids, the only like every kid looks the same until they have long hair, which is deemed like more female or anything like that. So you can be into dressing more androgynous and having a more of like a not typical, very like girly female name and still identify as a woman, and as a woman who's into whatever gender that they're into. So you're right. It doesn't always have to mean something more like that. And I also think so much happens at that age. Like I had friends that I went to high school with who were identified as straight in high school, came back one summer after college, and they were gay, and we never talked about it. And like we all knew, but there is something about being your best self in a place where you didn't grow up with everybody. And I think like, I don't know if they're in a new town or something like that, but you can really change and be who you always wanted to be. And that might mean that they're just exactly like you're saying, like they just like want cute like Kate Hudson hair and they like want to like change up their look, or maybe they do want to identify, they're identifying as the gender that they really feel, or not identifying as any gender. But I think, personally, I would wait it out.
Yeah.
Because it's definitely an awkward conversation. And I, again, personally would just not want to, not want to pressure anybody or offend anybody in any way and make them feel like it's something they need to think about or they need to decide on. Because it's also just like, it's not only like it's someone else's gender, none of your business. Like it's not like even if it's your own gender, you don't have to make that your business. Like it's not, it's just like an idea.
Also, since they did change their profile picture, their name, you could ask them, hey, I noticed you changed your Facebook. Would you prefer to be called this name?
Oh, yeah. As that first name, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that could maybe open up some discussion too.
And maybe see if you guys don't live in the same area, and maybe you guys are, because 20 you're still in college, right? Maybe you're well, I didn't go. Maybe you're in college, different places. Look at the comments on their pictures and see what other people are commenting. Maybe like do some Facebook sleuthing and see how other people if you're not in their day-to-day lives, see how people in their day-to-day lives are, what they're addressing them as. But yeah, I think if you just like wait it out and give it time. But also that might not. I don't know.
Just patience. Don't overthink it.
It doesn't really matter anyway, but I get the fear of not wanting to misgender or mislabel somebody or say the wrong thing to make them feel like you might not be supportive. But I think ultimately if you don't do that, like if you just switch to them, they, you're not going to, I think like that's a guaranteed way that you're not going to offend them and show your support. So as long as you keep staying friends with them.
My ass would just be like, why'd you change your name? Like, what is this?
Yeah, I had a friend that was born male and then transitioned to female and just changed their name on Facebook. And so then I just started calling them by that name and didn't say anything else after that. And then it was just that. You know?
That's how I feel like it happens a lot of the time too. Like I have had friends who then will just suddenly start dating somebody of the same gender. And it's like, we didn't have to have a sit down and conversation. I'm like, so does this mean you're a lesbian? Like, it's like, whatever you choose to do with your life, great. I'm going to take whatever social cues you give me. And I'm just going to say that back. And then if you start calling them by their Facebook name or their Instagram name and they're like, why'd you do that? You're like, I don't know. You changed it. So I thought you wanted me to call you that. You can just play that card. So, but I think you're being a good friend by being concerned about it. But yeah, I think sit it out, wait it out. Same advice I give when people are like, my friend's gay. But okay, should we go to the next one?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Megan, I'm 22 and I've been married to my husband who's 24 for 8 months. He is my best friend and the love of my life, and I am so grateful for his love in our life, but we have no sex life. We used to have sex all of the time until a little over a year ago, we ripped his dick. His foreskin. And we had to go 6 months without sex. I'm lucky if we have sex once a month now. I know he's scared that something freak will happen and it will rip again, and we use every precaution necessary to assure that it doesn't happen. But I feel like he's lost all sex drive for me, and it's really affecting how I feel about myself, especially since he masturbates almost daily. I need our physical intimacy back. I feel selfish for constantly begging for sex because sometimes it feels like he's my roommate, not my husband. Please help me. Please give me some advice. What can I do? I've tried everything to spice up our sex life, and he just doesn't seem interested.
First of all, I'm so sorry I laughed at you.
Same.
I feel like I have to say that after like at least every episode. There's like one caller. I'm like, I'm sorry I laughed at you.
It was just shocking.
It was. It's just not what I expected. Okay. Did she rip his dick?
I think so. So what happens is, so if you're uncircumcised, that was my first thing. Yeah, there's this small tag of skin that's underneath your penis. That's like your frenulum, like that little thing that connects your tongue.
Yeah.
For viewers on YouTube.
And so sometimes during intercourse, you can rip that. And so it takes 6 months to repair.
Did you literally Google like penis rip that takes 6 months to heal?
I did. And so like if you have sex with lubricant, like after it's healed, then it should be fine, but it can rip again, which is, I'm sure that's what he's afraid of. And it's very painful. So if it keeps ripping, then you have to have surgery.
Okay, see, I was picturing like a ripped shaft. That makes more sense.
Yeah. It's like PTSD. Oof. Okay. Fuck. I mean.
Well, I don't get why he can masturbate but can't.
If he's like doing it underneath where the tear is, then he could still masturbate. But if he's like inserting inside of her, then it's still where that tear would be.
Damn.
Oh my God. Ooh. So he's got like PTSD about her vagina.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
Teeth.
Yeah. Did you see that movie?
Yes.
Vagina Dentata? I mean, my first instinct would, I think, like, supporting him in like, this is obviously a very traumatic thing. Like if I hooked up with a guy and like he like, I don't know, like tore or like bit my clit, I would be so fucking mad. And like, you know what I mean? Like I would have, if you think about it in that way, like I would have very much like a nervousness towards that. So I think as like, you need to know that this isn't about like him not being attracted to you at all. It's just more of like a fear of something like very painful. So I mean, I would suggest like, can she still go down on him?
Yeah. I mean, she can't, like, they can still have sex.
But like, is going down on him, like is that worse or better?
It depends on where she's putting her mouth. If she like inserts him directly and misses that front part, then it should be fine.
There has to be some sort of like sex therapy for stuff like this.
Yeah, I'm
like
sure.
Techniques.
Wait, so where on the penis is it? I'm confused again.
It's near the tip. It's
so
like,
but then if you have sex with a is it putting a condom on painful? Like, is that?
It doesn't say, but it says like if you use lubricant, it should be fine.
He just never see that Friends episode where Monica makes Joey that like little thing to go over his penis with like bologna and like fur. Like he needs just like a penis like bubble to like protect that part of his penis.
These are the episodes of Friends I need to see. What
do?
Was that?
No. Oh my God. I mean, fuck. I think like I would just try and bring like some of like the sexiness back, because I think he's probably associating sex with pain. And so I think if you can like really just like play up the, hey, this is going to be like a like slow, very like sexual, sexy thing. So I mean, if maybe like it starts with like, instead of like him masturbating, like you getting him off with your hands and then maybe your mouth and things that kind of like reintroduce like this, like, I don't know, like training wheels of like building back up to that. Because I think, I don't know, that's like that when it's something that painful, I think you kind of just, he's also probably has a hard time separating sex from that instance.
Yeah.
Fuck.
And you have to communicate too. Like, I don't know if you've said to him everything you just said on the phone, but like tell him that you feel like the spice is gone and that you guys are roommates and that like something like let him know that you want to work on it.
Yeah.
And that you're willing to do whatever it takes to like make him happy again. And
knowing that it's not going to go right back to what it was before and that you're okay with like, I totally get the situation. I'm okay with whatever you can handle right now. And also like if he's like scared of like penetration sex for a while, there's so much other stuff that you guys can both do. So it's not like you're not getting off at all, either of you. And I think, I mean, fuck, that just, I didn't even know that could happen.
Yeah.
Ow. Just like, ow. Because then I also think like if my vagina got hurt from sex, you'd refrain from a while.
Yeah. I can imagine.
But like, do you think there's like something he can put on his penis to protect it?
Well, he seems to know what to do with himself.
Yeah.
It's just about like getting back with it together.
Yeah, and maybe having a very explicit conversation, like, hey, I know this isn't going to be sexy, but in order for us to be sexy and have sexy time, you need to tell me exactly what and what not to do. So you can kind of know. Because he also probably feels a little bit embarrassed by it and not wanting, I don't know, it's a little like not so macho. And so I guess you're right. If you have like a real conversation about being like,
and you guys are still young and been married for 8 months.
Yeah, this is supposed to be your like...
Yeah, your sex life can't be dead.
No. And it takes 6 months to heal. And so they haven't had... So he's in like the 2 months post it?
No, he's through the 6 months. Like he's...
No, is he like... So, but
he's jacking off.
He's been 2 months post the 6 months. So it's been 8. So they've been married for 8 months. Did this happen on their wedding night?
It happened before they were married.
Okay. So I wonder how long it's been.
Because she said, we used to have sex all the time until a little over a year ago.
But yeah, you guys just gotta fucking talk about it.
Like you said, there's so much that they can do.
Yeah.
Like they just need to become comfortable with their bodies again. So if they just explore other things and work up to...
And like you guys are, just like you said, they're still so young and you guys just got married. You have so much more of your life that like this can't be the new normal. This isn't the new standard. Like, does he never want to like put it in anything for the rest of his life? Like, that's a long way.
It's a really long time.
It's a really fucking long time.
And then it's going to start getting into like resentment and just a whole bunch like, no, people have to not be afraid to talk about sex, especially with someone that you're married to.
Yeah. And also there's nothing, I don't know. I think there's that illusion that like talking about sex makes it not sexy, but like talking about sex is how you have the best sex because you get what you want. And I think both of you, if you're open communicating with each other, you're both going to be able to enjoy it. And he's not afraid of you accidentally hurting him because now you know what not to do in the same way. And he also probably wants you to be happy too. Thinking about you and your boyfriend's dick at this time. Okay, guys, it is time for Producer's Corner. And for this Producer's Corner, I actually know what it is. So on a previous episode, I'm very curious to get your input on this. In a previous episode, I did what I usually do is I say something controversial and people lose their shit. And we're not going to stray away from people losing their shit. And we're going to play a response to a call that from the episode with Taylor where...
It was episode 30.
Yeah, episode 30 with Taylor where we talked about porn. And the original question was this girl who was saying that her boyfriend was watching porn and she didn't know how to deal with that because she really hated it and needed him to stop and all of that stuff. And Taylor and I's response, which I will say, we definitely glazed over the fact that both of us said there are issues with the porn industry, but we talked about how sex is very natural and porn is very natural. And I can state both Taylor and I are very pro regulating the safety of sex work and everything like that. And we were met with, it's an understatement to say, a shitstorm of people who are so anti-porn and think that Taylor and I are going to probably burn in hell, which we already are. We're going to hang out there. It'll be great. So this is a response that someone called in to say, because our advice to this girl was that a lot of people watch porn and that it's very natural, normal. And even I stated that I'm not into porn. Like that doesn't turn me on, not my thing. But I fully respect people who are consensually a part of something like that because like it is a job, it is an industry. I know people who've done it and who do it. And like,
so it's about the actual industry, not someone watching it.
Yeah. So then our whole thing was too, is like, it doesn't, a guy or a girl, someone who's into watching porn, it doesn't necessarily mean that they love you less and that they're not into you. Obviously like porn addiction and sex, those things are all totally real. But our advice wasn't about that. It was more about like a girl dealing with her boyfriend watching porn. And
Even like speaking to the addiction thing, a lot of people kept saying that in comments, but anything can be addictive if you consume too much of it.
Yeah. And there's some addictive stuff. I'm on Adderall and I have to be, otherwise I can't fucking function. It's an addictive substance. I'm not addicted to it. Like there's a way you can have healthy relationships with things. Not that I'm saying like porn like can potentially like super help your life, but depending on people's needs and their urges, I think if we got rid of every single thing that was addictive in this world, it's about having like healthy relationships with things. You can be addicted to people. Like you can be addicted to anything. Cheese. I read that article about the cheese is more addictive than alcohol. And I was like,
I saw that too.
Fuck yeah. But here's the response.
Hey Meghan, I'm a 24-year-old listener from Germany and I thought I'd share some insight on the porn episode. I know it's a bit, I think like 2 episodes ago, but yeah, right now. But I think I can totally understand the girl being like jealous. And I don't think it's about that he's pleasuring himself, which is completely normal and is what, when you're in a relationship, is something that's completely fine, of course. It's about what he utilizes for it. So I do see your point that he's just using them as objects to get off. I don't, however, find that very comforting. Like, I don't think that's a very comforting thing to hear. Like, oh yeah, he's just using these real women who, when like the main porn industry probably have been through lots of shit, as objects. And so I would be a bit cautionary there, also because like porn is such a powerful medium. It's like visual and audio, and so it can influence you quite a bit. And when it becomes your only way, or at least like your main way to reach an orgasm quicker, you might lose yourself in it. And it's just this, I think this thought like, why does he use porn for it? Why does he not use memories of us for it? And I think that's actually like a real thing. And I can speak from experience here that I stopped watching porn, I think like at least 2 years ago, because I was when I was alone, because I was finding that I was not thinking about my boyfriend anymore. We've been together for like 6 years now. I was finding I've not been thinking about him anymore when I was getting myself off, but just about these like visual pictures all the time. And I thought that this was getting out of hand and I was losing something with him. So I don't know, I mean, your podcast is really, really great. I just thought if she wanted to reach out for a bit more, she might want to listen to Cheryl Straits and Steve Allman's podcast, Dear Sugars. And they have a 2-part about porn, and they bring people in who really, really know stuff about it. But I just wanted to share maybe a different opinion, a bit more cautionary. Hope you still like me. And never mind, you never knew me, but I'm definitely still going to listen to the podcast. You're amazing, and I really, really love the guest you bring on. Bye.
First, I want to say I did not say that women are objects in porn at all. What I did say, and I can say this because this was not shot too long ago, is something that I am, first of all, I think if you're not okay, if you feel that way with like watching porn where it makes you feel like more detached from your partner, that's totally fine. I feel the same way as I do about abortion. If you don't want to have an abortion, that's totally your call. But I think everybody needs to make the decisions for themselves. And somebody who's in a relationship with someone, it is totally your job to like say your insecurities and say things that like don't make you feel great or whatever. But when somebody calls into the podcast and asks, do you think that am I being crazy? Is this something I should get over? I'm going to give the same advice I would give to one of my girlfriends. But I think that still means you should have a conversation with your partner and talk to them about it. And if it makes you truly very uncomfortable, that's totally fine. And that's on you. But like when you call into the podcast, asking a fellow girl for advice where I'm saying like, I'm talking to you like I talked to one of my friends, I'm going to give you that advice. Ultimately, what I did say about is that for me, I'm okay with people that I'm dating watching porn if it doesn't get in the way of our sex life. And I've definitely been with guys who watch porn and then be like, oh, I'm not that horny. I'm like, yeah, but I know you definitely like jacked off earlier today. And like now I don't get to have sex with you because like you're not that horny. And so if it gets in the way of what I desire from like sex in a relationship, totally something I'll bring up. But what I did say was that for me, I'm more okay with my significant other watching porn than I am with him following porn stars or any of like those girls online and following them on Instagram and Twitter and developing those kinds of non-sexual relationships. So when they're not in the mindset of, hey, I'm going to jack off and watch videos that I find sexually stimulating, I'm at work scrolling through my phone and a picture pops up of this girl that I've seen naked and I see what she's having for lunch. That for me, I think is more that to me is like more something that would bother me more because it's not something that's being used for like a means to an end. That's not, I'm saying that these women are like objects. They're, again, I know people who work in the sex industry. I think it 100% needs to be regulated when it comes to like sex trafficking. But when it comes to like people who are consensual, and like, I love the documentary Hot Girls Wanted, which is like so fucked up because it's all these underage, they're
like freshly
they're
18.
Freshly 18 and they're clearly caught up in an industry which is like not treating them well. And it's a very sad, very terrible documentary, or good documentary about a terrible situation of this amateur porn industry. I think there needs to be like insane regulation, especially with all of like the sexual harassment claims and people getting into it for reasons not necessarily that they chose to do so. But there are people and situations where they are humans and deserve the same amount of respect. So when I said that I would rather somebody watch porn where there's someone doing their job versus following them online and like getting into their life or whatever, which I still stand by. If you don't agree with that, that's totally fine. I would like to hear your opinions on
that. Makes sense, I think. I feel like it just varies by person and people tend to try to project their own experiences. Like I got from her that she was watching too much porn to the point where it interfered in her relationship. So now she sees it from that angle. And I think there are people, like it depends. Like some people have a higher sex drive than others.
Yeah.
Some people can watch porn, jack off, still have sex with their partners, same day, hours apart, and like just go. Some people can't do that and they watch porn and they're done for the day.
Yeah.
Some people seriously have an addiction and it gets in the way of their relationship. So I think it just varies case by case in that there's no like blanket statement that you can put on porn and what people get from it.
Yeah. I think that makes sense. Also, the call wasn't about a girl whose boyfriend was addicted to porn. It was somebody who she was uncomfortable with the fact that he watched porn, but from the call, it wasn't that it was affecting their sex life. It was affecting her, how she felt about herself. Which I think it's also pretty normal. Like I've dated guys who've like followed Instagram girls who are brunettes, like petite brunettes with like really curvy bodies, which is the exact opposite of me. So I'd be like, okay, that doesn't make me feel great, but it's something that has to be a conversation with your partner for it. But I think like the commenters and exactly like that girl said, like if you have a bad experience with it or you're not comfortable with it, that's on, not that I'm saying that's on you, but you can't disregard anybody else's experience with it. Like I know plenty of girls who enjoy watching porn to get off and they have totally healthy, great sex lives with their partners. I think it's a unique situation for everybody. And again, I say this as somebody who like does not get off on porn, like not what I enjoy watching, but I'm not going to shame somebody else for that. And I also think, if someone has an unhealthy relationship with it, that's something that needs to be addressed. But like the blanket statement that either like the porn industry is good or bad, I don't think you're right. It's like, it's not something you can claim. I think we definitely need regulations on things and like the safety of like everybody involved and making sure that everybody involved is like consenting. And I'm sure there are thousands of studies, which everybody has like linked us to, of what it can do to people's like self-esteem and other people's sex lives and stuff. But also there's tons of people who have healthy relationships with porn and healthy relationships with their partners.
So she was just misunderstanding that since you only approve of it in video form in that moment that you were calling them objects.
Yeah. And that's, I'm like, I think like if you, and also like if you're masturbating, if your boyfriend or your girlfriend or anybody is masturbating and they don't have like a fantastic photographic memory, like of being able to like, I would rather my boyfriend jack off to porn than me give him a nude picture of myself for him to jack off to, because I'm like, I don't want that getting out there.
That's like the memories, just like Black Mirror.
Yeah,
I can't like rewind
exactly.
memories.
And so I think, there's definitely like good and bad of it. I think the same thing with like just sex work as a whole. I grew up with with people I know working in that industry, in the, not the actual like participation when I was like younger, but working in working on laws and protecting people. And I think that's what really needs, it's going to happen. those things are always going to happen. And I think there's a way to regulate it so people are safe. But then it's like alcohol. Everybody, like you might be an alcoholic, you don't have a great relationship with alcohol, doesn't mean that nobody should ever drink alcohol ever. I think like you can't, like you said, you can't deem your own personal experience as what is true for everybody else out there. But also it's okay to feel uncomfortable with things. But again, I guess it's just kind of like a statement for like the podcast as a whole. If you call and say, am I crazy? Am I overreacting? What do you think? I'm going to give my opinions. That's what this is. Mm-hmm. And I'm also, I'm also going to come about it as like how I would talk to my girlfriends. But if there's something like we've had questions that are like very serious, which we've all said you should talk to professionals, you should talk to a therapist and things like that. I didn't deem this question as one of those things because it didn't come about it from like an addiction standpoint. It came about it like girl to girl, what would you do if you were in this situation? And that's how I came about it. But yeah, I just want to say that.
I think that everyone should keep in mind that the show is for entertainment purposes only. Meghan, me, any of the guests, we're not professionals at all. Mm-hmm. This is for like calling in to ask advice from your sister.
Yeah.
So don't take everything so seriously.
Yeah. And we're not going to have like links and references to different things too, because I also, as much as we're addressing the kind of negatives that people saw in that episode, I saw so many comments of people going, I watch porn. Like I have a great relationship with it as a woman. It's fine. I'm also not going to shame those. And we kept using the term porn shaming. I'm like, I'm not going to shame women and men for embracing their sexuality and figuring out what they're into and things like that. So in saying that I want it to be regulated and that I thought this girl, she shouldn't feel insecure about it. That's not me saying that. Yeah, I'm not saying that like I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just like either way, there's people you're going to like offend and people who's going to be like, oh, great, I'm so glad you're on my side. So that's just my piece.
Don't blame me.
Don't blame me. It's in the title.
Right, it's literally in the title.
You fuckers, come on. But
we're all friends. So
yeah, we're all friends here. And even that girl. So if you guys listened and left like nasty comments, look how nice that girl was. She called in and she said she's still going to listen to the podcast afterwards. Don't worry, we still love you. We're all entitled to our own opinions here. But when someone calls into the podcast, they're asking for my opinion. So I'm going to give it.
Ooh,
I'm not going to be fake.
That subtle read.
Yeah, I'm not going to be fucking fake. I'm gonna be honest. So it's okay. I'm like cilantro. Not everyone likes me.
Ooh,
I'm an acquired taste.
The facts.
I literally
like
am.
soap.
I love
100%. Thank God. But I am. I really am. I'm like 50-50 divided. Soap or delicious? I think I'm delicious. Okay. Well, Kingsley, thank you so much for being on this episode.
Oh my God.
Over. You were great. We should have you back.
Thanks. I will gladly come back.
Oh
I love like just hearing people give advice and just like all our different viewpoints and like the different experiences we have contributing to a conversation. It's really cool.
I think it's so fun. And I love having other people's input on things that changes my mind about stuff because like we all only come from like our own personal experiences. Mm-hmm. So it's really cool to hear all of that. And I just like love hearing the shit that goes down in people's lives. I get to live vicariously through them.
I really do want to follow up on that drunk.
Me fucking too.
I need to know.
I need to know too. Hey, well, maybe we'll get the follow-up call and then you can come back for that episode.
Yes.
And we can hear what happens.
Deal.
I would love that. Well, where can people find you on the internet?
Twitter.com/Kingsley with 3 Ys. Same for Instagram and YouTube.com/Kingsley.
Woo! Guys, check out his content. It's fabulous. I've been watching for an embarrassingly long time.
I know. I remember even Clever.
Yeah, like years ago.
Yes.
I think you know me pre-nose job too, probably.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't. When you said that, I kind of was like, what?
Because the glow up is real.
I can't. But you've been killing it.
Oh my
Movies
God.
and everything. I see. So congratulations.
Thank you.
You're
I love
welcome.
that. Turn on me. And you guys can always check out my socials and Mel's in the description as well. And if you are watching the video and you want to go listen to the audio version because you just can't get enough or you have nothing else to listen to in your car, we're on iTunes, SoundCloud, and then Apple Podcast app, obviously. And then if you are trying to figure out other ways to listen to it and you're watching on YouTube, don'tblameme.show. And if you guys want to call in, so we love responses. Drunk boy who's fucking his friend, you need to call back in and give us an update. The number is 310-694-0976. Right? Mm-hmm. Sick. international callers, which we had a couple in this episode, email a MP3 file to meghanpodcast@gmail.com. So you can just record it on your phone, audio message, or whatever you Samsung people do. Yeah. And we will see you guys next week. Goodbye. Don't Blame Me is a production by me, produced, directed, and edited by Melissa DeMons. Post-production sound by Chris Henry, production assistant Julie Carley, and music by Giacomo Picasso and Ryan Hunter. I'll see you guys next week, and don't blame me if your life, completely fucks up before then. Oh.